So here we are on ArtStation, and this is sort of subject matter portraits, and I wanted to talk a little about how incredibly unoriginal people are. So these are all done by different people, but they're all pretty much cut from the same cloth. You have to scroll a long way to find many new takes or indeed anything of any variety, really. So I'm not going to come into any conclusions, but essentially the result of AI seems to be an AI generated images. I mean, not all of these are AI, I'm sure, but is there uniformity? You feel that rather than opening the doors to new landscapes and new possibilities, AI is going to close it down and remove any originality. Even if you come across one of these that is quite original and different, and you know, not amongst the five-fingered AI creations, they're swamped in the vast cornucopia of AI images that are basically all cut from the same cloth. I recently looked at a list of on Hugging Face of a list of 80,000 prompts, and 90% of them all use the same artists and the same prompts. Essentially, there were a few that produced interesting results, but very, very few. Here we are in the AI Portrait Centre, and something that struck me was the lack of expression. There's a lady with a slight smile there, but for the most part, all of the characters are completely deadpan. There's not a tear, there's not a smile, there's not a frown. There are barely any old people, few old people. Look, there's a smile. How far do we have to go to get a smile? But for the most part, they're closed people. The shutters are up behind the eyes. These people have no life inside at all. So here we are on AI environments, and the story is pretty much the same. Embarrassingly, I've produced several of these identical images. I've produced plenty of steampunky ones like this. And AI will churn these out ad infinitum. It takes a quick sentence and a prompt and a few words, and there we are. And everywhere there are these inflatable women made, it seems, out of sugar candy or icing sugar or something. They display no character whatsoever. But the shocking thing is how everyone has been original in pretty much the same way. If we look at a generic area like manga, so here we are on DeviantArt, and it's the same story. And millions of these manga creatures, which are essentially sexualized children, which doesn't say a great deal for our society. But again, there's no individuality really. Every now and again you see something that's a little bit more interesting. This one looks a little bit more exciting, which is very nice to see. But for the most part, we should go actually back to that one and see. I've lost it now. It's lost in the swamp of AI images. Here we go. So that's got 13 likes and no comments, and the rest are all memes and the same thing, rinse and repeat. We've got horror, we have all the existing genres, but very few of any originality at all. And the sad thing is that the ones that do step outside the boundaries are passed by unnoticed, really. There are fans of the various niches, you know, there's character animation, character design there. So there's all these hundreds and hundreds of images, millions and millions of images, and not enough eyes to look at them. I'm not going to come to any conclusions in this video, just pointing out the astonishing uniformity of human creativity. You can look at anything really. We could go to AI art, and so here we are in AI architecture, And it's pretty much the same story again. We have all seen this before many times, and I know that they are very easy to make with a couple of clicks. Yeah, this is Interiors. Once again, it's hard to imagine that these are done by different people, and they all are done by different people, but they have all, as I said before, been original in exactly the same way as everyone else. The viewers, on the whole, respond best to someone who has been exactly the same as everyone else. Doing something new is not rewarded by attention at all, just the reverse. And you wonder why these people are making these images. Are they hoping for interest and hoping for attention, perhaps? I don't know. AI images are great fun to make. I've been very much enjoying making them myself. But to say that I made them is like going to the shop, buying some eggs, and then claiming you laid them yourself. You haven't made the images. You've only caused them to be made. But nonetheless, and I get it as well, as much as anyone else, when you write a prompt and put it into the AI, when the image pops up and it's good, you get this buzz of serotonin and feeling of, I did this, I created this, it's mine, and you take possession of it. It's now your image. You created it, but you didn't, I'm afraid. That's it. A slightly downbeat video, but it's something that I have been surprised and concerned by. I presume after people are already tired of the imagery, and unfortunately imagery that's not made in this way, people look at it and think it probably is, and discount it, even though it's not. It's made by skillful hands. So I don't know where this will lead. It's not for my generation to say. I'm sure the upcoming generation who are living it now will. That's a particularly unpleasant lot. I'll skip through those. Will make their own accommodation with it. We shall see. Okay, so that was a sort of a rant, really, rather than a video. Never mind. Thank you very much.